Another day, another commitment for Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs, who are on a roll right now on the recruiting trail. This time, as expected, they land four-star edge Kamari Brooks, one of the top overall defenders, not only in Georgia, not only in the South, but across the country in the 2026 class. Of course, this is not a surprise to anyone who watches this channel, anyone who's been following my work. And this is basically old news to Dawg Post members. I've been putting him in stories left and right. I mentioned him multiple times in previous videos, and I've been doing my best to drop some hints over the last several weeks, dating back to the spring. Hey y'all, this is a guy that you need to keep a close eye on. One of the best edge defenders in the country. Actually, he's the number 17 edge defender in the country, which may not excite a lot of Georgia fans. He's not going to have 5 stars next to his name, but I'm telling you right now, he plays like it at times, and in a class that has a lot of really talented edge defenders, he's a top 20 guy in the country there. He's a top 120 overall prospect in the country. So this guy is a big deal and someone who has been trending Georgia's way for a while. So again, if you've been following my work, if you're on Dawg Post, this is not a surprise. This is expected, and this is a big deal. This guy gets after it. He's a really good athlete. Of course, makes play after play on defense, but he plays tight end too. He's a multi-sport standout for North Oconee. He's a star on the basketball team. He's got plenty of size, between 6'2 and 6'3", 230 pounds. He is an active defender. He's got strong hands, natural instincts, can stop the run, can hold the edge, but he gets after the quarterback too. He's a guy who blew up last fall. I went and saw North Oconee play at West Forsyth. Of course, they had Landon Rolden, the wide receiver who is on Georgia's roster right now. But Kamari Brooks absolutely looked the part, played the part. At the time, he did not hold a Georgia offer. I think they offered him soon after that game, but he was all over the place. He's consistently one of the best players on the field at all times. He was one of the more productive prospects in the state of Georgia. He made 131 total tackles last year, 17 tackles for a loss, 13 sacks, 3 pass breakups, an interception, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, pressured the quarterback 24 more times, had 2 defensive touchdowns, and again, plays special teams, plays on offense. He is big, he is physical, and a really good athlete. And I think one of the best parts of his game is that he's not even close to reaching his full potential. But when Georgia offered him last fall, he quickly shot up their board at the edge position. This is a guy that has been to Athens a ton. I mean, 10, 15, 20 times probably. I don't know the exact number because it's all the time, right? Alabama made things interesting. Of course, it's Alabama. He took an official visit there, but this was Georgia, right? And I know Clemson was in the mix there too. So he did go through the process and he did give schools a realistic chance. But he had an opportunity to stay close to home, right around the corner, and play for the Dogs. And he said, why would I pass this up? So again, not a surprise to anyone. I've been trying to drop hints without basically telling you the kid's coming to Georgia. But people on Dawg Post saw this coming. And I'm hoping that people watching this video right now who still follow recruiting, because it is a big deal, are not surprised either, because I've been trying to get this out there that this guy is probably going to end up at Georgia. And today he made that commitment public for everyone to know. So big deal for the Dogs. He's the number 1 edge defender on their commit list right now. And this is the first of several that I think are coming around the corner. I mean, the Dogs aren't done. This could be a giant week on the recruiting trail. I put a note over on Dawg Post telling our members what to expect this week. There's several guys coming off the board, several guys who are looking Georgia's way. And this could be an all-time week for the Dogs on the recruiting trail. You know, they pick up commitments left and right all during the summer, but I think this is their 9th commitment so far in June, and it's not going to be the last one, okay? So make sure you are over on Dawg Post reading these updates, reading these details, and all these stories that I've got written about these guys, how good they are, where Georgia sits in their recruitment, what they have to say about Georgia. And of course, we've got some quotes from Brooks on why he committed to Georgia. He said, quote, "What made Georgia special is it being the hometown team and the way that they play the edge position. Their pitch was that they really believed in what I could become if I stick to the work. They made me feel like a very high priority the entire time." So yeah, he's a local kid. felt like a top priority, sees what Glenn Schumann and those guys are doing, sees the edge play that they've got and are recruiting consistently year after year. And he said, you know what? I want to play for the Dogs. I want to get after the quarterback. And I want to be a top Georgia defender down the road. So now he is jumping on board and is committed to Georgia as expected. So really big time commitment. And again, he can stop the run. He can get horizontal, takes good angles to the ball carrier, plays with good leverage. He can beat opposing tackles with speed, with raw power. But it's his athleticism that jumps off the chart. I mean, he can still tune up the fundamentals and the technique and work on different things. But he's a guy with size who can continue to add more weight and muscle. But the athleticism is there. He's a hardworking guy. He gets it from a mental aspect. And the only time I saw him play last fall, I hope to see him more this fall. But when I saw him against Easter Side, dude just lived in the backfield, helped win a state championship for North Oconee last fall. But week after week, he's putting up big numbers, making big tackles behind the line of scrimmage, attacking the quarterback basically every time he's out there. So this is a guy that was a big deal. Georgia wanted him badly, and they didn't have to go too far to get him. So really, really big pickup for the Dogs. As far as where they go now, I'll save more edge targets for the Dawg Post members. I'll get a story up on that soon about where they go from the edge position. But as far as commitments go, Corey Howard is a defensive lineman on the rise out of Valdosta. He makes his commitment tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I mean, you're watching this on Monday, but Tuesday night he'll be coming off the board. Jay Lamar is a running back that I've talked a lot about. He was in Athens for his official visit this past weekend. He's ready to make his decision, I believe, on Wednesday. Craig Dandridge, another guy that I've been talking about for a long time now. He comes off the board on Thursday. Malachi Lee, the big kid out of Hawaii. Again, a guy I've been, talking about for a while now. He comes off the board on Friday. So I'm doing my best to keep y'all as informed as possible. But the real scoop is over on Dawg Post. I can only say so much on YouTube. I want to get y'all over to the website to read all the work that we do over there. There's a lot of free stories, but some are premium, right? The real scoop, the real details that I work hard for, those are premium stories, but it is definitely worth it. And right now is recruiting season. I'm telling y'all commits are coming, so make sure y'all are heading over to Dawg Post to check that out. But Kamari Brooks is a big-time player who can blow up any particular play in the backfield, and a guy that could end up being a leader and a possible team captain down the road. I mean, he's that guy. He loves Georgia, and he just makes plays in a lot of different ways. He stops the run, which is something that goes kind of under the radar. Everyone wants to talk about the sacks, and he can do that, but he plays with good leverage. He knows what he's doing. He plays smart. It's tough for opposing running backs to get around the edge on him because he plays with strong, violent hands against the tackle and forces those running backs inside. And he is a big reason why North Oconee's defense and their team in general was so good last year. So local kid out of Bogart, staying home, playing right around the corner at the University of Georgia. And again, this is not the last commitment that they are going to get this month. So, if you still follow Georgia recruiting, again, this is a big deal. We've got highlights from his big-time junior season, state championship junior season over on Dawg Post. I can't put them above here because we don't have enough clips of him that we took ourselves. We can't put huddle across these, this video. So you're stuck looking at my face. I apologize. But if we do that, we can get a red flag on YouTube, and it's just not worth that for us. So make sure you watch his clips over on Dawg Post, read the story. We've got a bigger full breakdown over there. But Coach Drebe, the outside linebackers edge coach over at Georgia, is doing a great job. He signed 3 of the nation's best last cycle in the 2025 class, headlined by 5-star Isaiah Gibson. It's still early this Sunday morning, but Isaiah Gibson, definitely a guy that I think is going to be a possible superstar at Georgia. So A+ job in the 25 class. And he got one of his biggest targets right now in the 26 class. And again, a little easier because they didn't have to go too far for him, but big deal. He gives Georgia their 9th commitment so far this month, if my math is correct, and 20th overall. And again, I think the momentum is still coming, right? The dominoes are still falling for the Georgia Bulldogs. So make sure you are tuned into this channel. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, right? We really appreciate it, but we wanted to see y'all over on dawgpost.com. That's where the real scoop is. That's where all the big time details are, and we really appreciate it if y'all give us a chance over there on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. The Georgia recruiting train, it ain't stopping. It ain't stopping anytime soon. Really appreciate y'all watching, and I will hope to see you over on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching.